And go, go, go indeed. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Metaworld News. It's our highlights for the week ending 16th of September of the year 2018, which the latter probably goes without saying. Seems to be a quiet week here. I'm looking at our main headlines I've got put aside here, and I've actually only got three, which is ugh. You can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/malburns. That's Malburns. That is in two parts, is my name, but it's all in one over Twitter. So it's all one word with no gap in the middle. And these first three items, actually, you'll find the links if you, well, I'm going to give you them anyway, but if you miss them, you can go over there and find the links and other links too on that feed at Twitter. So 20 hours ago, that's fairly recent, isn't it? Virtual Reality Times. This is another one of those all one word jobs. Virtualrealitytimes.com, and they're all full words, no nice little initials here. Virtualrealitytimes.com. And they've got a little report on a South African project working to preserve Africa's past heritage in virtual reality. Um, it's just one of these, things. But I must admit, archaeology and preservation of stuff using virtual replicas of things that have long gone or might be long, might be gone in the near future, is one of my fave uses of VR. Sometimes these things are done, to be in museums. Some are meant to be standalone archives on the web, and some of them are even indeed created in existing virtual worlds, so that you can wander in a world to a simulator that is, say, a build of ancient Rome. No need to go onto the web and log into it separately. It just exists within a much wider virtual world. So, very good stuff. It's let me see. I'm just going to open that quickly because why not? Basically, as long as Windows cooperates. Which is dubious. Come on, you stupid. Right, okay. Yeah, it was a recent fire tragedy at the National Museum of Brazil. Underscored the importance of going the extra mile to preserve historical and cultural memory. In many countries, such heritage is at risk, not just due to accidents and inadequate government funding, but also due to conflict and vandalism. And such has been seen in conflict zones such as Mali and Libya, where militants have often targeted cultural and historical symbols and institutions as a way of getting back at the establishment. So, digitization is one of the best ways through which the world's cultural heritage can be captured and preserved for posterity. And the article goes on a fair bit more about that and about the South African project. Right, a company called Vera VR. That's actually VEER, the word, followed by VR, the letters, with a space between them. That may be important or may not. Who knows? Vera VR launches experience tool for VR content creation. Um, I have a feeling this was included last week, but maybe this is another version of a press release or something. Anyway, I'm reading one as uploadvr.com. That's UPLOADVR, all the letters there, .com. And oh, yes, it says by VentureBeat. So I imagine the article has already appeared at VentureBeat too. So we probably have covered that before. Basically, it's online content creation for virtual worlds, including Oculus, Windows Mixed Reality, Vive, something with an icon I don't recognize, Oculus Go, Gear VR, and Daydream. And it's also available on your mobile, so you can create the content on your Apple device or your Android device as well. So quite an all-round project, that one. And finally, voicesofvr.com, favorite of ours. There don't seem to be many this week, and the only one I've actually tagged here as a highlight is 694, a chap called Ken Wilber, talking about transformational VR, maps of consciousness, and integral philosophy. Now, that is a bit of a handful, isn't it? But from what I did hear of it, rather interesting. So it's all about mapping all dimensions of reality consciousness and stages of human development. And of course, it's all done with mapping and models and stuff, and things like VR as to simulate these things is uh, part of the future, isn't it? That's best said like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's actually all the that's all Mark Burns has got for you really this week. But I'm gonna go. We have another Twitter feed which is Metaworld News, twitter.com/ Metaworld News, all one word, but otherwise like this program. Um, Again, I've got a few things here that haven't come through totally, so I'm actually going to click on them to open them. Let's start with this one, if it wants to open. T.co. Oh dear, it's done one of these silly things, which is to um, that's very odd. Right, it's not showing me the link. It's simply showing me a Twitter page where the link should be, but it's not there. So let's go figure. um, it does show me the retweets, mind you. Let's see this. Melbourne's writer. Here we go. Okay. Um, Oh, no, this is the, Second Life feed. I do apologize, folks. I'm being redirected to all sorts of they are my feeds, but they're not the ones I'm after. Put it that way. Okay, Metaworld. Let's see if I can get to Metaworld proper. Here we are. Oh, I'm already there, aren't I? Okay. Well, all I can tell you is um, Silicon Valley virtual reality are having a fireside chat very soon, but the link is not showing me the date. It will be in Silicon Valley, but it will also be in high fidelity. So I suggest the best way of checking that out is to maybe go to High Fidelity's blog. Talking of High Fidelity's blog, I do at least know where that is. It's blog.highfidelity.com. High Fidelity is spelled HIGHFIDELITY.com. And their main news of the week is the fact that their platform managed to get 356 avatars together. Um, this post comes from this week, but I think we actually announced this last week. It beat the previous record by exactly 100 by the look of it, which is interesting. Um, we have a guest on in World Review in a short while, Nara Malone from Nara's Nuke, and she was amongst the new people I actually saw in High Fidelity at that meeting as well. So that's the news from them. Now, Hamlet Orr, his New World Notes blog, which is nwn.blogs.com. He had an article saying, "Is Dual Universe closest to being a true metaverse?" Virtual world expert who helped define the term says so, and not Sansar, High Fidelity, etc., etc., etc. Well, that virtual world expert is none other than our pal Will Burns. And it is Will's contention, talking to Hamlet at least, the whole interview has been rejigged by RyanSchultz.com as well, is that Dual Universe, which is really a sort of, it's probably like EVE Online. It's really a sort of, it's a game, but it has capabilities that make it a virtual world, that can be used by non-gamers at the same time. Um, and the way it's set up, the way it does it, and everything else, and the underlying system, will actually considers to be very close to, a genuine metaverse. And Will, of course, has developed prototype, blueprint for a future metaverse. It's got four layers basically. We're going from metadata to meta worlds to meta galaxies, and metaverse is the universe equivalent. Great for sci-fi fans, but it's actually quite a logical sort of use of the terminology as well. Anyway, some interesting thoughts there from Will, and comment by Hamletor as well. And as I get back onto my right screen again. Come on, flip when I want you to flip. Flipboard? Why are you called flipboard if you don't flip? Never mind. Oh, it doesn't. Dear me. Dear me. Oh, I love this. I love this. Okay, I'm going to close the window and relaunch it. That's all I can do when Windows gets like that. Uh,
It's not.
we've been having a lot of discussion this week about Windows. I recently got a new iMac, and uh, I have to say that everything I don't have to keep on Windows is going to move to the Mac. It's just unfit for purpose now.
Windows
But
hasn't flagged Flipboard as a virus, has it?
yes, yes, we were laughing before we came on air. I'm sure many of you realised that Microsoft, in their great wisdom this week, decided that the Chrome browser from Google and indeed the Firefox browser from Mozilla were both viruses. And if you tried to download one, Windows politely told you that it's dangerous to install these things. They have since, the idea being, of course, that they had a button that said download Microsoft Edge instead. Um, what's that? Most people say. Anyway, I won't dwell on that because for once the furore was so great that yesterday morning Microsoft relented and said, "Well, we won't do that anymore." Wonder why. Right. Good old, what they're called. Right, okay, I was on, yeah, Metaworld, wasn't I? Here we are. Okay, okay, I mentioned over there, yeah, I've done those, haven't I? So I can actually come back now. Okay, I'm just going to flip into a sort of another virtual reality feed here before we head over to look at Google Plus. There have been a few things here of interest. Where we are, a site called Joe.org, Joe.org, using 360-degree video for immersive learner engagement. A bit interesting there. Um, the this is CNET. Everybody knows CNET, I guess. CNET.com. The Emmys could give virtuality the credibility it needs, one nominee says. Apparently, the Emmy nominations for virtuality experiences aren't just kudos for flashy tech. They also are serving as stepping stones to virtuality's popular acceptance. And this is all according to Alex Hemming, who is the co founder of, wait for it, Mag? No, Puss. Yes, which is a virtual and augmented reality company that helps firms like Disney bring storytelling into their interactive experiences. And okay, I've never heard of Puss before, but they were involved in Coco VR and, of course, the movie Blade Runner 2049. So, yeah, they've done a few things at least. Okay, so yeah, getting credibility for VR outside of virtual worlds is a good thing. Although very often these are extensions of cinematic PR, basically. And the most interesting stuff is documentary, on the spot reportage, and some of the games and stuff. Anyway, what else have we got? How real estate businesses can use VR to boost business profitably. This is a post in fincycle.com, Fincyte. Actually, I pronounced that wrong. Finsite, I guess. Um, I think this was a one-day offer. Samsung's high-end mixed reality headset is £100 off right now. But oh yes, update sold out. Sorry, just wasted 30 seconds. Okay, moving on. Um, Here we are. Clear water. This is you'll find this post at laughingsquid.com. That's laughing as in hysterical noises, and squid as in the octopusy type thing, but all one word. So it's the laughingsquid.com. A brilliant immersive virtual reality demonstration of what storm surges look like at different heights. Well, this was a few days ago. I don't know whether it was at the start of the weather system hitting the east coast of America or whether it preempted it, but it couldn't be more topical, really. It's a kind of virtuality seems to be the bit that is showing you water rising and the behaviors of everything. And it seems to be all be superimposed from what I can tell. I don't think it is virtual buildings. I think it is actually a 360 video kind of panorama thing. So you actually see the water rising against real known objects, and it also shows you the way the water rises. It doesn't rise like when you're filling a sink, because it's obviously taking into account the elevations, even little elevations of roads and grasses and stuff like that. So appropriate. Whether anybody, the people that really needed to watch this are probably too busy evacuating to go online and see it. But sad to say, but yeah, topical anyway. So why not? Um, Dave and Buster's CEO. Who be Dave and Buster? It must be yet another studio.
It's a no.
Um,
It's actually it's a bar, food, and gaming establishment in the United States. A chain entertainment thing.
oh, okie doke.
Hmm.
Well, in that case, I've just lost the. There we are, right. Okay, the CEO is talking about Jurassic World VR virtuality being the biggest game launch in the company's history. So, yeah, Jurassic World VR Expedition Ride is being launched by Dave and Buster. Yes, Dave and Buster. Oh dear, no, well, good name for a company, is it, David? I'll just pop into Dave and Buster and get a busted goods.
It is Dave and Buster's with the possessive plural. Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's.
Fun place or
Okay,
something like that.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I was ignorant Europeans. I haven't got a clue. Right, flipping over again. World's Artificial Intelligence Conference kicking off in Shanghai. Um, People wearing virtual reality headsets have worse balance. Well, I don't wear them, and I've got appalling balance these days. Have worse balance and increased mental exertion. This is a post at psypost.org. That's psypost.org. And obviously, it's a piece of new research, along with 1,000 other pieces of new research elsewhere that probably contradict that. But anyway, that's posted at scipost.org. Um, right, where else are we? New York's JFK Airport has unveiled a virtual reality suite. Um, Something about flight delays can be stressful. I think the idea is that if your plane is delayed, they stick you in a headset and give you a gun and hope that Homeland Security are not watching. It's a bit odd.
Yeah.
Yep. Right, they put you in VR to go around shooting people while you're waiting for your plane. Very good, very good. Right on New York. Um, right, roundups of Oculus Rift games. We don't want that. Virtual reality film imagines an indigenous future for Toronto. Toronto being, of course, Canada. This is at nowtoronto.com. Um, Cineplex have signed a VR deal to bring 30 or 40 installations again to Canada. You'll find that at business.financialpost.com. Um, Three ways of virtual reality pioneer is rebranding the form. This was yesterday at entrepreneur.com. And blah, 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 slap through here really quickly because otherwise we're going to go all over the place. Um, I think. uh, Oh, this is rather nice. This is Britain, actually. Oh, no, Newcastle Herald. I think this must be University in Newcastle, but it's an Australian site, theherald.com.au. Matthew Kelly is writing, how the Victorian Theatre looked in 1891. It seems to be a virtual reality recreation of a Victorian theatre from 1891 in Newcastle. It's a famous Victoria Theatre. Um, More than that, I really can't tell you. But as I say, it's at theherald.com.au, which is an Australian suffix. All right, where are we? Okay, that's a repeat from last week, I think. Um, hmm. Okay, one last one, although I don't really know whether it's mainstream enough. VR developer mind-tripping portal to another world seizes the internet's attention. This is at a site called designtaxi.com. And again, it's VR exhibition type installation. Okay, flipping back here. The last place I'm actually going to look very quickly is just to see if anything much has been happening in Google Plus. Google Plus is one of those platforms where it's very hard to get back to anything other than your own posts, and that's exactly what I've got here. Um, in virtual worlds, basically Open Simulator. The only real thing I seem to have here, it starts on September 21st, which is imminent, is OS Grid have their kind of annual fundraiser. They are the largest grid in the OpenSim metaverse, and they'll be holding a donation carnival this month, starting on September 21st, running through September 28th. And there are also gigs, activities, and all sorts of things, as well as the carnival going on. You can find their press release on this posted at hypergridbusiness.com. Our old friends there. Indeed, it's Maria that's posted that there. And apart from that, there doesn't seem to be anything new and really current there. As I say, it's very difficult to tag a lot of things in Google Plus so they appear in one of my independent feeds. So there is a bit happening there, which no doubt we will discuss further later. Um, I am musing to myself here, and no, my answer is no. There is nothing else for me to report this week, at least not that I can see. So, James, thoughts, comments, anything like that on the miserable offerings of the week?
No, no, not in particular. Just, I guess some notes about the Open Simulator conference is
Oh,
looks
yes,
like it's
indeed, we
being
do have.
planned. So, yep.
Of, of course, I better open that. I don't know why. Yes, the Open Simulator Community Conference happens on the OSCC grid. In our Discord, our Hypergrid Discord channel, there is actually a channel for that grid, so to speak, which will be filling up, hopefully with news as we go along. You also find the news on Google Plus, Twitter, everywhere really. The coordinating committee, as it were, had their initial meeting on Friday and sort of planning. Well, presumably they'll be meeting every week from now on, unless it's a holiday weekend or something. Let me. I'm scrolling here. The message has been removed. Oh, Christo, what? Sorry, never mind.
And I don't know there's much
So
more to report other than just that the organizing committee is organizing again.
yeah, well, no. Also, the first thing that has happened is the dates have been finalised.
Ah, yes.
So December and 8th and 9th, December 8th and 9th of this year, I believe. No, this year.
Yep.
Well, it's getting near the end, isn't
Right,
it?
right.
Yeah. So those are the dates where it will be happening. And in terms of a call for proposals, well, that is as good as imminent. You could almost say it's gone out already. I mean, basically, this is the first thing that happens now is that if you want to do a presentation or have a panel or possibly appear on a pre-existing panel or something like that at the conference, then the organisers need to hear from you. You do actually have to fill in a piece of paper saying, in all seriousness, I want to do this. And then in due course, you get a little piece of paper back saying you have been approved. Or, of course, it's possible that if they are swamped, you may not be approved. But
Uh-huh.
anyway, that is sort of the way it works. I very much suspect if you've got a serious presentation in mind, you will be approved.
Hmm.
But it is a bit of a formal process you do need to go through there to get yourself connected, so to speak. So if you're yeah, I'm just trying to remember if you're hypergridding around. Well, actually, there's not much. Yeah, you have the OSCC grid. It's on the hypergrid. You can get there at any time, but there's not really much to see, do, or even register using the in-world system until
Hmm.
much closer to the time. The other thing is, apart from a call for proposals, Obviously, an event of that size, it's a big conference-like thing. It's all one strand, but it's all across four sims, and there's exhibition grounds and day trips and all sorts of things. If you would like to volunteer in some fashion, they would also be keen to hear from you. Volunteering could be if you know how to film with a virtual camera, you might be able to volunteer as a camera person. If you if you are an expert on lots of grids, you might be able to volunteer for helping to host, say, a hypergrid safari type events. Also, just greeters, simple greeters. If you don't feel you can do much, but don't mind standing there saying hello to everybody comes in and possibly answering questions as to where they need to go
Oh
if it
yeah.
isn't automated already.
Yeah, the
So,
greeters are
so
great for
there's
that. Yep.
yeah, so there's a whole lot of stuff that will help you get involved in there, and of course, by and large, if you're volunteering, you've got a real good bird's eye view of the event itself. A bit of a plus point, so to speak. So yes, they would love to hear from you. You can also you can follow OSCC also on Google Plus. And I'm sure they have a Twitter account. I haven't got all the details handy at the moment, but I think they've got an avenue on just about every social media channel out there, really. So, yes, thank you for reminding me,
Oh
James.
sure.
I might otherwise have neglected that one.
I'm just so glad to hear that it's in the planning stages again.
Indeed.
Yep.
Now, we will be back on this channel on the hour, which is about 35 minutes from now, with a sort of one of our new short versions of the InWorld Review. Before I leave, you might like to check out the link is naramalone.com slash 2018 slash /09 slash /04. And then the title of the article is OpenSim dying or evolving? Asking the question there. Now, each word there has got a hyphen between it. So it's like is hyphen OpenSim hyphen dying hyphen or hyphen evolving. And she published this article, Nara Malone, that is on September the 4th. And when I read it, I sort of thought, oh, I've got to get her on the show to chat about that, plus all her other new stuff that's going on. And lo and behold, I met her the other week over in High Fidelity too, where she's doing stuff, and she also has a web VR, VR on the web page site as well. So she'll be joining us on the hour, and hopefully we'll find quite a lot to talk about with her. So as far as the news is concerned, it's now how did we do this last week? It worked rather well. It's yeah, it's goodbye from him for sure.
And a goodbye from him.
Yeah, and that does it. You see, I
Yep.
think.
I think that's it.
I think I got you started. Yeah, okay. The two Ronnies live on. Not right. We'll see you next time, same place. Have a good week, everybody. Bye for now.